Good morning, everybody. I call this
Can we,
finance meeting to order.
Right.
Today is Tuesday,
Right.
August 5th, 11 o'clock a.m. Can I get a roll call, please?
Covert,
Here?
Berlin,
here?
Chaplin,
Here.
Childress.
Yes.
Eckhart,
Yeah.
Lassie,
Here.
Henry,
Here.
Kazmierek,
Here.
Lucas.
Here.
Rutledge. White. And you.
Here. All right, the physical quorum of the members is physically present. I will entertain a motion to permit those members not physically present due to personal illness or disability, employment purposes, or for the business of the board or family or other emergency to participate by video or teleconference. Do I have a motion?
That's the one.
All right, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? All right. Welcome, member Galassi.
Thank you.
All right. All right, moving on. Do we have any public comment?
No.
Okay, we do not have any chairwoman's remarks. Moving on to approval of minutes. I entertained a motion to approve the minutes.
So,
25-1441 approval of minutes for the technology committee, Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025. I have a motion and I have a second. Any corrections or deletions or additions? All right, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Moving on to procurement requisitions. I entertain a motion on TEP 001025, recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to She International Corp. For the procurement of Absorb Software
So
Inc.
moved.
annual licensing and hosting with premium support for information technology for the period of September 14, 2025 through September 13, 2026 for a contract total amount of $38,761.23. Contract pursuant to the Intergovernmental Cooperation Act. I have a motion and I have a second. Do we have any questions, comments, or discussion? All right, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, passes, thank you. Moving on to 6B, I entertain a motion on 25-1771, recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Monday.com Ltd. for work management enterprise seats for 35 users for information technology for the period of July 21st, 2025 through July 20th, 2026, for a total contract amount of $17,640.17, exempt from bidding. Do I have a motion? Do I have a second?
Second.
Any questions?
I do have a comment.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
so just wanted to explain this one in a little more detail to the committee. As I'm sure most of you guys noticed, the actual start date on this is July 20th. We want to apologize for coming to the committee after the fact for requesting approval. In the past, we were able to keep this contract under 15,000. We have pushed them for the past 3 years and they have said yes. This year, unfortunately, after the first tech committee meeting, there's only one in July, they came back and said no. They will no longer allow us to, and to their credit, for 3 years, they kept the price consistent. So they actually had to do an upcharge, which all software companies do at some point. We didn't have a second technology committee in July, so we weren't able to catch it prior to. So apologize for that. We've maintained this price under 15,000 for 3 years. It's going on up slightly, and we're going to try to maintain consistency, hopefully, for the next couple of years as well. But wanted to explain that to the committee.
Thank you, Anthony. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Moving on to travel requests. 7A, I entertain a motion on 25-1758, authorization for an IT staff member to attend VMware Explore Conference in Clark County, Nevada, from August 25th, 2025 through August 28th, 2025. Travel to include hotel mileage per diem for an estimated total of $3,165. I have a motion. Do you have a second?
Second.
All right, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Moving on to informational items, I entertain a motion on 25-1776. Recommendation for the approval of a contract purchase order to Rhythm Engineering for one game changer, a portable traffic data collection system with a yearly membership for the Division of Transportation for a contract not to exceed $18,500 or not suitable for competitive bids. Anthony, did you want to say something? This is pretty amazing.
I did, no, so I wanted to mention to the committee that I want to thank DOT, I don't think there's a representative here, for getting in front of this, coming to the IT department to ask us to assess it, but more importantly, to assess the AI component. There's an AI component that's part of the solution. It gave us an opportunity to do some research, to read their statement of work, and it has minimal impact to us and the software. But thank DOT and Bill and the team for coming to us, having us assess. All departments and agencies should do the same. We're not going to stop you from moving forward, but we'd like to assess it, ensure that it doesn't conflict with any of the existing software that we have here, nor will, and make sure that nor does it create any cyber holes for us or any security risks. So, and this application is not.
All right, thank you. Do you have a motion? I have a motion.
So moved.
All right, second? All right, thank you. And then any other questions? All right, okay, thank you. And all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next up is our presentation. We have our 2026 Informational Technology Budget presentation today. We do have enough.
So, yeah, I'm going to try to whip through it, yeah.
We will, and we will save questions all the way at the end for a limited period of time. But we'll get to the question portion of it once you're done, Anthony. So please take it away.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Chair. And again, like Madam Chair said, we have a lot of content to cover here on our budget. We are being as transparent as possible. We want you to understand what we've done in the past, what we are planning for the future, and how we plan things accordingly. So we took our time, went through the budget with a pencil, but fine tooth comb. Everything that you'll see in this budget are things that we really need versus things that we want. We cut all of that out. Despite that, there's a increase for our requests this year. I'm going to explain that in more detail, want you guys to understand it, but I'm going to work through it from starting with our org structure all the way through the different elements of our budget. So the first slide is, of course, of our org structure. This is a functional org structure, which I think it's better for you guys to understand what our functional areas look like versus names specifically. I'm going to start from the left side and work to the right and then end at the very bottom. But first thing is, in terms of staff, in FY 2025, we had 65 staff, which is relatively lean for an IT organization of our size and compared to a lot of our peers in other counties. In FY 2026, we're requesting 2 additional positions. I'll talk about that in more detail. It's to ensure safety and security within DuPage County. That's what those positions are for. So if you see fit for us to add that, it will enhance cybersecurity and also disaster recovery capabilities for our organization. At the bottom of that, it breaks down the 3 funds involved in IT. IT has a general fund, which the majority of our staff, as well as the majority of our requests is under. There are 51 individuals included under the general fund. And then we have GIS. There's a total of 11 positions, 9 field, 2 open positions, or unbudgeted positions. And then PRMS, it's a mighty group of 5 that support 31 police agencies throughout DuPage County. So going across the board, you guys, I won't spend a lot of time on this, but from applications, support and development to ERP support, our team supports the M4 system, MHC. They will support the new Dayforce application once it goes live, as well as our new ERP, financial ERP system. We plan to do a RFP for that next year. Web services team, those of you know Debbie who's here, she manages the web support team, manages our website, our internal intranet, plus our learning management system. We talked about Absorb earlier. That is our enterprise system that supports the entire DuPage County, allows us to track all training activities, And it's a great report system. And then accessibility, as you guys know, we are also moving forward with ensuring that we adhere to the new DOJ accessibility rule by May of 2026. And Debbie and team spearing that one up. Infrastructure, the network team, the local network wireless, telecommunications, cell phones, and IT security falls under them. Operations is the folks you probably know the best, all of our PC techs and the service desk when you call for support. Those are the individuals that falls under that group. PRMS, I mentioned earlier, police records management. PRMS is highlighted in green and GIS highlighted in orange because they are budget neutral. So both of those have separate budgets from our general fund. But PRMS manages, of course, the police records management system, as well as our sieges systems. So, and then GIS in charge of anything dealing with digital maps, as well as mapping data. So imagery, geodata integrations of other systems to GIS so that they can track and map basically that data on a map. To the right, I think it was important for us to highlight this. We've never brought this in before, but I think it's important for you all to understand that governance, it plays a key role in IT management. It's the only way it's going to work for us as an growing organization. Project management, we currently have only one IT project manager. I think in the future, we definitely need to have more, and I will request more. Having a qualified person who understands IT projects is super important, and holding the vendor to scope, budget, and timeline is super important. That's what that group does. Also, data analytics is super important. And we do some data analytics now, but we want to grow that and make sure it's an enterprise system. With the introduction of AI, data is super important because AI depends on data, right? And it depends on clean data, accurate data to give the right answers or to complete a task. It has to use data. So data management is going to be critical over the next couple of years. So we have a focus there. And then last but not least, enterprise architecture brings everything together. It makes sure that every single piece of technology works the right way, works together seamlessly, is secure, and allows us to be strategic long-term. All right, and if you look at the very bottom, this kind of just shows where our FY 2026 budget is grouped. The blue is the general fund. It's 12.6 million, up 3.4 from previous years. I'll explain why. If you remove the two critical items that really increased it by 3.4, it shows that we're relatively flat. But those two items, again, I'll talk about in more detail, are critical to our operations. And we think it's needed for us to move forward. Otherwise, we would ask for it. PRMS up by 10K, which is normal for them. And I'll explain why. And then we're slightly down in GIS at 145K. So next slide shows basically our complete budget summary. What's up, what's down? We're up 38%. And the IT general fund down 6% in GIS and up 0.5% in PRMS. Now I'm going to drill down to those three different funds, starting with the general fund. The first item is revenues. We don't generate a lot of revenue, as you guys know. The other government reimbursements you see at the very top, that's really chargebacks from Adobe licenses and a few other licenses. It's remained consistent over the years. It's been an increase in usage, so the numbers have gone up slightly over the years, but we're pretty much maintaining that. And then the charges for services, that is really related to CJIS, Criminal Justice Information Systems. We charge police agencies for access to archive data through CJIS. Some of them pay for it, some of them don't. In the past, if you see in FY 2025, it goes down. It basically disappears, or projected, and 2026 goes away. The reason for that is that in the past, that money would go to the general fund and we use it to cover our expenses, it really should be under PRMS, Police Records Management. That's the money is collected from police agencies for CJIS. It should be used for that. So we move that to the PRMS budget, so to help them capture those expenses and cover their expenses. Okay, that's it for revenue. Moving on to our expenses. Sorry, 1 second there. So as you can see, from 2022, we've gone up quite a bit. But if you remember in 2020, 2021, 2022, those were COVID years. The budget was actually down. So it was probably closer to 7.5. Across the board, it's been a consistent increase. The big change is this year. If you look at the equipment line, specifically the second line, you'll see a huge increase. That's mainly because during the ARPA funding, we use ARPA funding for software, for equipment, and other things. During that period, we actually were able to supplement the cost of equipment. We're no longer able to do that, right? We still have to replace equipment, and we have a pretty responsible life cycle. It's 20% of all devices replaced every year over a 5-year period. But unfortunately, we don't have those funds anymore, so it goes from 114 in 2025 to 535, a significant increase in 2026. One of the things that has increased our budget. And the other big one that stands out is other contractual services, which is software also related to ARPA funding. And during the pandemic, we spent quite a bit on cybersecurity and ensuring that our systems were secure and solid. But we use ARPA funding to do that. Now we have to continue to pay for the maintenance and support of that. But that cost has now been transferred back to our operating budget in the general fund. We're also requesting an increase in cybersecurity and disaster recovery, as I mentioned before. That's captured under contractual services. Okay, so those are the big jumps, and that is what brought us up. I'm going to give you the details. So if you look at personnel, it shows that these are all the things that make up our increase. 7%, essentially, there are staff members that we're asking for increases. They're below market rate, below their current peers. We believe that some of them who are essential to our staff are potential risks. We just want to bring them up and bring their salaries whole and to make them consistent with the other members of the team. And then we're asking for 2 new positions, security operations center positions. They're analysts that will report to we only have 1 dedicated cyber security analyst. So these 2 individuals would report to that person, building some redundancy within that team, but also giving us the ability to monitor things 24/7, 365. Right now, we don't. Like when we had our cyber incident in April, we had the state wake us up to tell us that we had an incident. With these analysts, they're going to monitor things 24/7. They're going to have a shift around the clock. So we'll know right away so that we can lock things down and hopefully avoid a catastrophe. Why that's super important now, as you all know, that there's been an increase in cyber activity. So especially with the new administration, we are actually getting attacked on a more consistent basis than ever before. Because there was an incident here within DuPage County, it also increases our chances, our risk. Other threat actors will see this and say, hey, maybe they're vulnerable. Maybe we can make some money off of them, and they go after us. So it's all increased. 5 minutes, all right. That means I have to pick it up. Okay, sorry. Commodities have gone up. I'm not going to go over that in detail. You guys can take a look at where it is, but the biggest item here is essentially we're replacing one of our systems and the laptops. The contractual service I talked about before, but that's the breakdown of what those costs are. So a lot of shifts in ARPA plus the 1.1 that we're asking for cybersecurity. I'm not going to talk about this in a lot of detail. Essentially, the increases are split into 3 big buckets: protecting current operations, strengthening security, and resilience and investing in the future using AI. And take a quick look at those and ask me questions in a second, but I want to get through the rest of this.
Can I interrupt you for
Yeah.
1 second? I did have a question, Nick, or if you want to answer. I understand there's an 11:30 a.m. special call meeting, but this is a very important budget presentation that we have, and I do want everybody to have the opportunity to ask those questions, and I don't want to rush you because it is important.
It is.
So what my question was, the people who do need to go to the special call meeting, if they do leave, would we still have quorum for the others to ask questions?
So you could theoretically do a two-part budget because, I mean, you have another technology meeting later in the month.
Yeah.
So you could continue this and, for the second meeting, it's a lot to digest, but I will tell you with the special call, you have a lot of elected officials, so we can't start that one out late. My recommendation is maybe you end it today and you pick it up and do it again because there's no rush. We're still in conversations, Anthony, with finance, myself, with you, trying to figure out how to do all this. So I'd extend it and do it, start again in 2 weeks.
So we're not presenting in the public county board meeting.
No,
Okay.
no, it'll be our next tech meeting on the 12th.
Does that work? Does that work for us?
Yeah, that's fine with me, as long as the committee's fine with that.
Are you all okay with that?
Yeah, but I do
Okay.
feel like I don't want to rush through it. There's a lot of
It's too
great
important.
details.
Right.
Too
It's too
important.
important, right?
And both this meeting and the other one are super important.
Right, exactly.
So we can pause it there. Thanks, Steve. We can pause it there and then come
But
back.
just so everybody knows, I think we still would have a quorum. If
If we continue,
if the 4 people who have to leave left,
so we will not have.
I think we will.
We will.
We will.
You can keep going if you wanted to.
It's your call.
I
And Carrie
think,
Galassi has a.
I think what we can do, go ahead,
If they will, then the chair would, I don't know if you would stay or if you would leave. but-
I would like to be there as well. I always have an option to see it through video. And, I think I'm gonna stay for everybody, because everyone's here. They took out their time. What I would say is that let's continue with the presentation today. Let's finish it. And then the members, the county board, but the members who are not here for the presentation, they would have that opportunity to view it on, our YouTube video. And if there's any questions, they can email
And then we can follow up next
and we can
meeting.
follow.
Yeah.
Right.
As Nick stated, this isn't final. We're still working, we're working very closely with finance, and if there are things that we can cover using FY 2020 funds, we'll do that and we'll bring down the overall budget.
Let's get a consensus. I want to know your thoughts. Do you want to continue this, finish it today and then have people watch the video of it? Or would you like to do the second part with everybody here?
Completely up to the
It's-
committee for me, so I'm here to support them and answer any of their questions. So, Carrie Galassi also has a question, Madam Chair.
Okay, Member Galassi.
Thank you. That was actually what I was gonna ask. So my question was answered. Thank you. Because I did want to jump over to the other meeting, but to your point, I can always finish watching this on video if you decide to proceed. And if I have questions, I'll just email them. But I did want to quick say, Anthony, thank you very much for following this year's structure with showing, budget to actual, because I know I had requested that last year, so I really appreciated that change and the detail this year.
Not a problem.
Thank you, Member Galassi. So I would like to hear from the rest of our departments. Do you have any thoughts, you guys? Would you
I'd
like
like to
to?
continue it till the next meeting.
Okay, what about our coroner's office, clerk's office, treasurer's office?
Yeah, I could go either one. I guess one question I'd have is how much more time do you need for the next presentation?
Well, to do it the right way, probably another 10 or 15 minutes. Okay. I would say 10, a minimum of 10 minutes.
Okay.
We have quite a few slot one, two, we have at least 6 more.
Yeah, I don't want you to be rushed, but I'll go either way.
Okay.
For your knowledge, I have to go to the other one. So you're gonna
Okay.
lose yours probably.
So why don't we do this? Do we have a general consensus to continue this budget presentation to the next meeting where everybody's here? Okay, all right. Well, then we will go with that.
Okay.
All right, so
Thanks, everyone.
We will-
We'll continue, well,
we will pause right here and we'll continue in the next technology committee meeting. And then to wrap it up, I'll go into old business, any old business. All right, seeing none, any new business? Okay, no new business, I move to adjourn. All right, all in favor? All right, thank you, everyone.